Okay, the delay should be over. I'm back. I decided to reappear. Um, I don't know what's gonna happen today. I was like more so contemplating not filming. I don't know. I had no intention of doing a live stream today, and then all of a sudden, I finally took a shower, and then I started having thoughts. My kitty is crying, but he cannot come in because I have my plants in here, and he chews all my plants. He bit my cactus one day. I don't know how a cat is brave enough to bite something. So the cat was okay. The cactus survived, but yeah, I gotta build a shelf. I gotta build an IKEA shelf that I got and I haven't, so that I can put my plants on it so that the cat can't get at my plants. But me and the cat are kind of enmeshed, and he really doesn't like it a lot of the time when he's not in the same room as me, so I don't know if he's gonna keep crying. But anyways, okay. I don't know. I'm gonna get into the topic. I might forget what the initial topic was even gonna be, but I don't know. Today I just procrastinated more with starting the live stream and felt. I think it's getting better, maybe sort of easier, but not. I don't know. I'm like, it's a miracle that I'm here, I guess, that I haven't just disappeared. It's a miracle that I've been kind of consistent, at least with live streams, because I totally would have disappeared by now. But I just got a full-on trauma response. Like, I'm so much more aware of it now, the connection between me avoiding things or procrastinating and it being a trauma response. Like, I was feeling fine. And then when I decided I was going to do the live stream, I started, like, the idea of actually doing it. I started feeling a little bit sick to my stomach, and that's just sort of still dissipating right now. But yeah, I don't know, today I'm just a little bit more, I guess I wasn't more firm in my topic than other live streams, so it's just way more unsettling because there's more pressure to keep it going, or what my point even is going to be. But I feel less alone, but I'm actually more alone because I'm kind of becoming a full-on recluse. But I like it. And I'm vibing. I'm really vibing with it this time. Like, other times where it hasn't been my choice that I have felt isolated, maybe, okay, was it ever not my choice? I don't know. I don't know if there's ever been maybe not until now, there hasn't actually been an intentional isolating my own self. So maybe that's also the difference. But yeah, I don't know. I mostly just hang out with my partner slash fiance. But even then, like, I have my own time to myself, and it's fine, which isn't normal for me. I don't know. Like, obviously, this is more cliche. Obviously, this is cliche where it's like, if you're having interactions that you're, I don't know how it goes. And I messed up my sleep again, so I did not really sleep much last night. So it's gonna be just annoying and insane. But the saying of, is it a saying or is it just a concept? Is it just an obvious thing? Like, if you're not really vibing with people, if you're not really feeling comfortable with people, you continue to have those friendships or whatever that or interactions that just you're not vibing with, like, you're gonna feel more alone having those friends or people in your life, I guess, than not, which makes sense. But I just don't really know. I don't know what's going on, because I'm just, guys, my identity has been to be, I guess, mentally ill. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really, like, a few days ago, I posted I guess more than a few days ago. Okay, I thought it was my last live stream, but the last live stream was the Mother's Day one, and then the one before that I think was uh maybe it was called enmeshment update, feeling unwell. I was feeling unwell. However long ago that was, I don't know, maybe a week ago. I think I'm unenmeshed like already. I have mentioned that I had already unenmeshed like from my mom or from some people maybe or whatever, but I was still like, I don't know, I guess I have practiced now that it's easier to do it. And now life's kind of different, and I'm still getting over patterns though of being really critical of myself at times, and negative self-talk maybe kind of mostly having to do with productivity and projects. Like, I guess I forget that I've had some successes, and then I just focus solely on what I haven't done. And then I'm just scared of my own self because I'm used to completely abandoning projects and letting the uncomfortableness of putting myself out there get to me, and like I'll just feel unwell and stuff, and then believe that it's kind of legitimate and real. It just will feel so wrong in my body to push through and keep posting and be creative. And so there's other projects I've been working on that just require actual editing. The live streams, obviously I don't have to edit or anything, and that's kind of keeping me going with just being active on the channel. But I have multiple projects I've been editing and stuff, and then it'll still be a jumble in my brain of what to do, where to put my energy. Like, I am pretty ADHD, so I don't know. I just finally showered today, and just my room is a friggin' mess all the time, and then like I don't do chores, and I'm not like, I just forget that it's sad. It's really sad, and I feel bad for my partner that does a lot of cleaning. Like, I did finally clean the bathroom the other day. Like, there's certain rooms, kind of mostly just the main bathroom in my room, that I do, but he's really good at the kitchen and the dishes and stuff, and I just go through phases where I try to just do it every day, and then I'm doing it every day, and then I don't remember when I did dishes last. It's kind of embarrassing, but I don't know where this is. I don't know where this is going. Maybe, okay, me becoming a recluse is helping me in my journey as well, because I'm not being consumed by the interactions. I am someone that tends to deal with a lot of social anxiety, so that just a lot of times will take the forefront of my neuroticism, and then also the enmeshment that I had with family members or even friends or everyone, honestly, probably strangers, just like being so really concerned about a interaction, and ruminating about stuff, and then like it's so exhausting to try not to ruminate, to constantly be pulling myself into the present and pulling myself in the present and and like have these, and just too many, I guess, things that are triggering that rumination in me. So I'm severing those ties to being overly concerned about people, and then maybe it's helping me understand more my other types of neuroticisms and get more of a handle on it, I guess, in a way, and understand myself more, obviously, and be myself. But I don't know, it's just a weird mode, because I feel like I'm kind of still, I am in a bit of an in between phase. So like, and then I don't know, I'm just realizing, I don't know, I guess life just seems kind of weird, or it's coming full circle, because I don't think I resonated with the shenanigans on Earth since being born. And I don't know if anyone else has an experience like this, but there's this memory that I have that sticks. It's just in my it just imprinted itself that I'll never forget. And I just don't know what the feeling was. All that happened is I think it happened more than once. Like this is this is my first house as a child. And maybe I was like 5 years old, or I'm kind of trying to remember when we moved out of this house. Maybe I was like 10 or 11. Yeah, 9 or 10 when we moved. So it couldn't have been any older than that. And I would sit by the window. I guess I was meditating. I don't know. I was this young little child that would just gaze out the window and feel intense feelings. And I don't know what it was. And I guess now I like to think of it as this homesickness, like as a spiritual being, whatever, soul, whatever you want to call it, feeling kind of like, maybe feeling like this isn't fully real, just being like, oh, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. And okay. And just feeling, I don't know, I just had this really emotionally intense part of me that, I don't know, maybe I've disconnected from that part of myself in a way. I didn't have moments like that anymore that I can remember at all, like that I would be in deep, I don't know, meditation. It definitely, it always involved looking out a window at nature in a way, or whatever was out my window. Like it was this weird, also almost metaphor of being in the house and then gazing out the window and just being like, I don't, oh yeah, another thing that I used to think too, okay, I think the movie was called Thumbelina. This, I don't know if it was Disney. It was like Paramount. I don't know. It was this cartoon thing that I'm pretty sure was Thumbelina. And the beginning starts off with, I think it's a book, like just the story is a book. It's a book. That's the story. Making no sense right now. But there's multiple movies like that where the movie has to do with a book and it's written. And I remember having deep contemplative thoughts about that's what reality is. I remember feeling like, what if someone's writing my life or something from above? As a very young child. I also had this other random memory that I could never remember. It felt real at the time. Like now, okay, I don't think that I could have levitated, but I have this weird memory of like in my old living room, and I just remember the light fixture, this chandelier thing, and my sister and I we were jumping off chairs just for fun, I guess. That's what you did as a kid. You just danced around, you just like jumped off a chair and I guess pretended to fly. But I have this memory or something that, and maybe it's just like a alternate reality type of memory thing. Like I don't think it obviously actually have. Maybe I just felt like lightness in my body or something. And I was like floating. I remember like the chair, the same surroundings and everything, but instead of just like gravity doing its thing, I was just like up by the ceiling and kind of chilling. And I don't know, or maybe I just had an outer body experience during that, and that's what that was. Like I was like above looking at myself, and I've never had outer body experiences at all ever, besides if that was one of them. But I don't know how we got here. It's just, I feel rude to say this, but I just don't resonate with a lot of people, unfortunately. And they're doing nothing wrong. I just feel out of place because I feel like, I'm a little weirdo. I just am. Just always been weird, and I'm embracing it now. And I guess it's not weird. I know people too are gonna be like, it's not weird at all. Like that's, I totally resonate, or I vibe with it, and it's not even weird. But it's maybe weird or just feels out of place for this, what's going on here. Just for so long, I just can't do the surface level conversation. I just can't do the small talk. Well, I could, and then really recently, I actually can't because I've talked about it on this channel a few times, me just literally not being able to. Like someone asking me how I was, and my brain got like stuck and I couldn't even answer because I didn't want to lie because things were kind of going on, but I just didn't want to. I finally have boundaries with what I choose to let people in on in my life and personal life or internal world of what's going on, and I just didn't want to divulge that I don't know, was not just doing good. Yep, good, everything's good. And then I just couldn't do the fake thing anymore. So I just feel like, what's the point of, it's just exhausting now to think of these I don't know, I'm just really investigative lately, and I do like to judge myself a lot and be like, this is just a whole big waste of time, but I'm actually learning so much via the internet, Reddit, YouTube. I just learned so much about, I don't know, I like to analyze dynamics, like friendship stuff, relationship stuff, narcissistic stuff, trauma, obviously, and like just really understand. I don't know, for the longest time I've been yeah, since quite, yeah, at least high school, I really was just into psychology since, well, I was trying to figure out what's going on with me, but I've always just been so perplexed and interested in like, why do psychopaths do what they do, or sociopaths, or all that jazz. Just like, why would someone do that? And I've gotten more of a, now I've finally figured out that stuff. I do feel like there is something just going on with people's brains sometimes, that it's not a conscious thing at all, or like people are just, and that's the crazy thing too, that's just freaky, where it's like, I feel like I could get a brain tumor one day and it could just be like hitting my amygdala too hard, and then I just turn into a serial killer. And that used to freak me out. That thought used to freak me out so much because I was just so scared of like, what if one day I just go crazy? But now now I feel like, okay, well, is it the person's fault if they can't control it? So now I'm almost like, obviously let's hope that doesn't happen, but I guess it's, first of all, I wouldn't be there, like conscious me now, if like I did get a brain tumor, that like the real me, I guess, just wouldn't even be there anymore to feel all the shame and the guilt about the whole thing. But yeah, it used to probably just be about oh my god, I don't want to feel so shameful. It's like, but you wouldn't if you became a serial killer, if you actually were able to unalive people, like, you're not being ashamed enough to not do it. So yeah. I don't know. I think I'm going to end it now. I don't know what's going on, but we're just having some fun. And I did just want to, whoever's been keeping up with the unenmeshment journey, I wanted you guys to know that I'm feeling a lot better, and that it's, I don't know, this life choice has been one of the best things I've ever made for myself. And so if you're going through something similar, or maybe contemplating, you're feeling a certain way, you're maybe feeling really strongly about going no contact with certain people or something like that, but the shame and the guilt is sort of withholding you from just fully doing it, I highly recommend just honestly listening to your body, and that kind of speaks for itself. Like, how do you feel around this person, and how can you be doing anything wrong when you're just keeping yourself healthy and safe, either physically safe, literally, or emotionally safe. Just as important to feel, I feel, emotionally safe. And it's so hard at first. It's like, or it's just weird when you reflect back, like where I am now. I'm so detached from the whole thing, kind of, that Like, I'm detached. I don't have the guilt and the shame, like the intense feelings of when I first maybe did it. I actually give some of that up to actually be able to make the decision to begin with. So I was already, you know, further past it when I first did the no contact stuff, but then like immediately after. And honestly, I'm probably doing a lot better too because these people haven't even been really trying at all to contact me at all. So it'd probably be really hard if I was getting and if people were saying things or being mad that I wasn't engaging or something or calling them, or it would have been probably way more difficult. But at that point I would just have blocked. I would have had to cut off the exposure to the messages and the language in it, or the like I would have had to completely, so then I would have been then out of it at that point if I decided that I needed to actually block like everyone. So yeah, things are looking up. It's just interesting. It's just guys, it's just interesting because I feel like the things what I've just learned about myself and my experience is when thinking, just realizing what the problem kind of really was, like being so unaware of it, maybe it being so like not real, thinking, okay, like some stuff was really clear where it's like, I don't know, I was enabling thing, like making boundaries and stuff is a basic thing. But then thinking, oh, I'm being so good at my boundaries and this is so great, or thinking, like just the thought just didn't even cross my mind to do the no contact thing. It just didn't even cross my mind. So I think I was really in denial about stuff, or like really actually disconnected how it was truly affecting me. And a while ago I used to, it's I've said this before that it's come in stages, or there's like waves to their levels to the unenmeshment. Kind of, you get to a new level once you've beat the one level. And so it starts off with maybe simple things, making little boundaries, and then maybe after that you're enlightened to so much more of what you've been doing, like all the placating stuff you've been doing, or realizing, oh shoot, that's a trauma response. Like I used to think I wanted to talk to certain people, but I realized it was because I was gaining some part of my identity almost from it, or like I was just unaware of all those feelings. I would just have this urge to call, oh, I mean, I have time, or I got a window to, I'll call this person, and that, and almost and excited to kind of do it. But I feel like it was just an automatic thing, autopilot thing, that's just how I was just so used to the relationship being that need, feeling like I had to check up on them, and that it was like I was so detached from that, it just wasn't going to be enjoyable for me really. Or also maybe feeling like having wishful thinking it would be different, thinking the interaction would be different or something, or and then I fully realized, oh crazy, that was like I didn't actually want to do that. I was just doing that out of that particular situation I'm thinking of, is I was doing it to be seen a certain way, to be seen as a good daughter or good person at the end of the day. It leaded this whole thing, this holy shenanigans has been linked to whether I'm a good person or not. And I was aware of those feelings and everything like that, but I just wasn't, my beliefs were so set that I was continuing the thing, like continuing to not make the boundaries and stuff like that, because I still like believed a certain way that I wouldn't be a good person or something for that. So yeah, none of that could have changed unless I did the research. It had to come first that I learned about all the patterns and the things, and that's the beauty of the internet. There's pros and cons, but I'm so thankful. Like I feel like it's just interesting. It's just a double-edged sword. I know everyone's scared of the AI and everything like that, and the progression of the technology and stuff, but it's so advancing us though as well in ways, or we're becoming way more self-aware and stuff too, or just shit's just not flying anymore because people are being exposed. But when I say that, it's like I'm totally not into cancel culture at all. So that's also the double-edged sword of it. I've talked about this channel. I felt very strongly about just was not vibing with the cancel culture at all. Like that was just triggering for me with what I've went through. So it's just a fine balance though of realizing certain patterns though, and it's not about canceling the person or I don't even know what canceling really is anymore, because there's a healthy degree though for just being like, hey, like this isn't, I don't know, I'm not making sense. Sorry. I just like I'm trying to think. I just have such a hard time because I see all the perspectives of it, and then I also don't want to be a hypocrite. Like, specifically, I'm thinking of someone like Amber Heard. Like, was she canceled? Is that cancel culture too? And I partook in that. I didn't want to cancel her, and I think I even talked about how I related because she was kind of diagnosed by whoever was analyzing her for the trial. She was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and that was what I was diagnosed with. And I did a lot of research and listened to a lot of the audio tapes that her and Johnny Depp had with each other and that, and I related to her on certain things of like the fear of the abandonment and the reactions, and like I've been really myself like volatile in my relationship, not proud of it. Luckily didn't get violent, but just like I was really animated and yelling and just screaming, and I don't know, it was just really bad. So yeah, the holding people accountable, it's sort of like there's a balance, right? There's a balance to, hey, this is like, these are narcissistic patterns, or this is deceptive, or this person, the whole thing with that too was the fact that I feel that she was totally, because of her actions, what she was doing and talking to the public about it, or writing the article that Johnny Depp ended up suing her over the defamation and everything. Like, she wasn't just sort of doing her thing and whatnot, whatever. She was actively her actions were destroying someone else's life in a way, and career and everything. So that's where it's like, okay, that shit's just not gonna fly. But yeah, there's a difference between that and then like saying something that someone doesn't resonate with, and then like they get, I don't know, full on, it's just tweeting one thing one day, or years and years and years ago you were being racially insensitive or something like that, and then like getting canceled over that tweet years and years ago. So there's a balance, right? There's a balance, but this whole roundabout way that I didn't even make my point about, that I first got in this tangent about, was relating to the internet thing of people being able to come to terms with what has happened, like the emotional trauma and stuff, because people on TikTok are making videos talking about these patterns, narcissistic patterns, or just emotionally immature patterns. And communally, there's this awareness happening, I feel, where it is being called out, because it was just so normalized for so many years, and then especially in certain cultures and stuff, it was normalized. So my beliefs were just so ingrained and so solid because of how I grew up, and the certain beliefs that I was instilled with. In a way, I did witness or was around other families in a way, or dynamics of it. It's just my beliefs were so ingrained that until I watched video after video, or heard podcast after podcast, or whatever, of people talking about their dynamic that like so resonated with what I went through, and they were like, you know, talking about the guilt or the feelings, you know, that I had gone through, and then explaining it and of what was going on, like making full sense of it, and then me realizing like, oh, I feel this way for actually good reason, or that, yeah. So anyways, okay, I think I'm gonna end this now because it's really not making my sentence structure. I'm struggling, guys, with the sentence structure, so I do apologize if it was really just hard to understand what the heck I was yapping about, but anyways, more to come. I do want to actually finish editing some other kinds of videos, so, but that's the end of the live stream. Take care, everyone.